I'm sorry. Well, the sun is setting in Pflugerville, Texas. I feel surprisingly good, despite the fact I've been up and rolling and hustling. I've had since actually, I don't think I was actually asleep when I wasn't asleep. Slept very little last night. Bed sagged, but my point is that uh, in the videos that we're uploading, where we're stalking Hobo, because 79 there's tracks usually on one side, and then at times it's on both sides. In that area, that highway kind of is, because it's good, easy. That's one of the reasons that highway exists. Is, or I should say that the train exists. Well, no, yeah, the train tracks are there because the road existed since the 1800s. Uh, but we have discovered hobos. My point is that pointed out the Rockdale Walmart was, which was the last time place I found size 15E shoes anywhere in Central Texas, anywhere that I was prone to go. Or and on the way back, I decided to exercise my right under these medical rides to call for a potty break at the Walmart. I mean, Walmart's the only one that has a handicap stall, so completely legal. And geez, as I was heading towards the restroom, went past the men's section and found a Swiss Tech jacket. No lint, no bullshit. I look great. I'm warm as shit. I have on technically one, two, three, four, five thinner layers, and then one good puffy, and $30 with tax. I wanted one with a hood, but then again, if it really gets cold, I'm going to wrap my head in a turban. No, you just buy a sheet at Walmart, like a twin sheet, and kind of put accordion pleating in it, kind of like a Sikh, follower of the Sikh religion. You just put a pleat in it and wrap it around your head. You put a little, might leave a cap on there to help. And trust me, I've done it before. Once you get to that point to where you have your head uh, really well insulated, and I've got enough now. I'm since I got back, and actually somebody left me a food offering on my chair while I was gone during the day, and it was from the. And I'm going to tell you that I did. I think the sausage was a little over the top. It was a little spicy and a little, but it was basically briskets, a few little slices of pickle, some crackers and stuff. Whoever it is picked it out carefully for me. It's from the Southside Smokehouse or whatever, which has been around since 1882. And I want to thank whoever left that there, because I'd just taken pain medication and needed to put something in my stomach. And there's the sunset. That's actually the first time we've seen the sun all day long. I'll apologize for the incredibly bad, because I may go back and delete it. I didn't do the focusing thing where you have to move to photo and portrait and then back down to video to get it really focused. That's one of the tricks to this thing. And but please, if you notice, there was water in the ditches and stuff like that. Oh, that's really nice. That is lovely. I did have a tiny cup of coffee this morning, and just blasting ass cold fucking wind and still damp everywhere. And I stopped on the way back and because I have the right to call bathroom breaks and stuff on long trips like this, over 200 miles round trip. I have the right to call meal breaks and bathroom breaks, especially if I'm having a gut problem. I can make the driver stop every 20 miles. They're getting paid by both mileage and by hour, and they get paid fairly handsomely. But I may not have mentioned that my doctor appears to have found a surgeon who will repair my shoulder, and there's some hope for the future. So I'm glad I got it done. When I went into her office, I was immaculate, sweet smelling, well trimmed, fresh shaved, right to the, you know, uh, dressed very well, very nattily compared to, and but it cost a pretty penny to do that. And she's trying to explain to me that she can only, that's why they want me to go to a pain clinic, although I know there's one is around here. That's because the state law doesn't want them to prescribe enough tramadol to me to where, I could possibly overdose on it. They want to limit it to 10 days at a time. But anyway, I feel pretty good, especially now this final outer layer and stuff. And by the way, look at that. If you can see that, I noticed that in the store that this thing has got not just one, but two massive shoplifter. Wait, is there a third one? Yeah, there's actually three. There's 3 layers of shoplifter pockets on each side of this thing. I'm not going hungry around here. And if I get caught, let's see if it's the same on the other side. No, I think it's just one on that side. Yeah, I get it, because right-handed person going to the left side. But I can also fill them up on a cold night. I have about 10 pounds of them hand warmers right now. If I start busting them out and putting them in every pocket I have, because I got 4 layers on bottom, 1 Reebok, 1 good thermal on top of the Reebok thermal. Of course, this makes it kind of time consuming to, fortunately I don't have any urinary urge. Takes it kind of time consuming I've actually left the zipper on the inner layer pants, which has its cargo pockets, so I can actually fill up those cargo pockets with hand warmers. I might do that tonight. I got at least 1 package of them that's would fill up every pocket I got and make it a lot less necessary for me to, because it's going to be frigid tonight. It's going to rain again tomorrow. And I'm sorry, when the doctor indicated that she, and actually named the doctor, Doctor may be the son of somebody I know. I can't remember whether that was here or in California I went to. And even the driver knew the family name, was familiar with the, but my doctor knew she was under pressure. The failure to treat after this long would be, I could be doing the Thomas J. Henry thing. If y'all get that as a local Texas joke, he's recovered about $1.5 billion usually from truck driving companies, though. But they have to fix me. They cannot continue to let it slide. It's been actually a little more than 11 months since the injury. Now, I showed her my foot and stuff. It reminded her that I saved my foot. Not that Justin or Jason Booth, the guy that sucks the fat out of fucking rich bitches out around Lakeway mostly and stuff. He did it deliberately. It's without a vacuum canister and impervious and permeable, water impermeable cover, which he did place over it, would cause catastrophic failure. He knew what he was doing. He's an evil fucker. I get to talk about facts. This is not libel or slander. I mean, I had the KCI, the auditing company, calling me saying that he's charging $2,000 a week for that a portable, rechargeable vacuum canister that was not attached to my foot. I kept telling them nope, and kept telling them I know it's going to fail. I'm now preparing to, gaining the materials. I told my doctor about it, just what a mess it was, and I could have, I still have the Well, no, that was in the phone that was stolen. They may have it in the cloud, but Bruno's got them. I can, it was, my foot was, it looked like something out of a horror movie. And I had to deal with that I told her 7 months, but it took actually 8 months for that last little spot that looks like kind of a piece of white dry skin now to finally close up, because that was the point of maximum compression and flexion on the ankle. But rarely do you find a guy that's not a doctor who can save a foot and do live cell migration without it getting infected. So I have a lot of hope today because I've managed to reconnect and with my medical people. She fully understands, especially when I displayed how Dr. Sproul had sprawled out, man spreading in a Aeron chair for an orthopedic surgeon. I actually did it for the nurse too, to show him what it was. And it's painful for me to sit like that. I have to sit. Right now, I have lumbar support. I'm sitting almost bolt upright. This would be bolt upright. And all my life, I've had to exercise good posture because at 14, I had a fracture in my fifth lumbar vertebra. It's actually lovely to see some blue. I'm sorry I didn't have. I'm actually going to be taking several more trips soon, so I hope to get you folks out on the road more. And you didn't see, like when we were going into Bryan, that's the east side of Bryan. If on the west bypass, which I may have mentioned, is just exploding. It's just, even the highways are much more expensive, all kind of decorated and shit, and just all that massive explosion of housing and university related building and shit, and student, condos for students and shit. The area is huge compared to when I was a child. When I was a child, the population of Bryan, Texas was 23,000. College Station was only about 25,000, and when the students would come, it would go up to another 25 to 50,000. It eventually became. It has one of the highest enrollments of any university, and it's actually Texas A&M University continue to publish that it is the wealthiest public university in this country. It may be as wealthy as any of the Ivy League colleges, which don't have to show you their books. I know that Aggie alumni are the most generous alumni of any university in this, and also some of the richest. You'd be surprised, man. You don't have to have a big name and big tech, high tech or shit like that to have been a guy who's made hundreds of millions of dollars in petroleum engineering or something else. Yeah, I know I'm ranting and raving, but don't really care because now I have hope. Worked hard. I've waded through incredibly horrible weather, and if thing goes well within a month or before I spin down drastically or something and shit, before I'm completely fucking. I am expecting a little oil and gas money this month. They have to disperse it. It'll be several months worth, but it may not be much, but it'll be enough to. So I'm just looking to hunker down as best I can, and I'm supposed to be contacted immediately, and I will begin pushing it every day as to when my appointment with Dr. Luke is, because I want to know. Actually, she did ask, and I said Scott and White actually has the majority of the imaging because it was done at Scott and White Hospital here in Austin that didn't have the capacity of the place they sent me to, St. David's Trauma Center, where I was given like the presidential suite, room 777, over 400 something square feet. I don't think, not counting the bathroom, and 70-inch TV and shit like that. And I told her about how I tested Justin Booth. Gave him 14 days to say the word heparin. My doctor knows I'm no dumbass and no slouch. Anybody who can survive on the streets of Austin and then on a bad January day after a really bad January night, appear in her office absolutely spotlessly clean, shaven, hair trimmed, every hair on my head and body trimmed. I ain't got no armpit hair. Don't want no freaking odor. That takes a lot of doing. Her own clients sometimes don't go to that far a stretch. Sorry, I'm only going on this long because I'm happy. I have hope because it's looking pretty bad. Actually, she got me to fill out a sheet that could result in me. Actually, it was 3 pages of just checking off of my current status, and that could result in me getting housing or getting. It's going to certainly guarantee that. Yeah, I don't care about the glasses at this point in time. It would almost certainly guarantee that after surgery, I get to go to rehab, and they're going to have to wait at least 60 days, not the 20 that the West Oaks typically does. The guy warned me in St. David's, they won't come after your money until after 20 days. It's not going to be the same situation. And I wouldn't. After they repaired my arm, and I've had 20 days to rehab, trust me, I'm going to be demanding steroids to speed up the healing. And just like last time, I was aggressively working on the muscles because I had a torn bicep, torn triceps. I had almost, I was doing everything I could, and that was months after the original injury, to increase the range of motion and strength in my arm. I am not lazy. I work hard all day long here using an arm that barely functions. I mean, look at me, dude. Fucking look at the chick, I'm Natalie dressed. I'm super warm compared to people around me. Every time they get out of that car, they leave their. One of the employees came out, it's cold out here, and I go, no, it ain't. Look at that nice jacket. It's got plenty. Only $30. It was actually $28 plus tax. $30. Okay, $30.15 or some shit like that. But it appears my doctor actually, because she's real reluctant to speak to me directly, and that's normal procedure. I've had to get shit conveyed to her through the intermediaries, which have existed since the COVID days. In the past, you could actually talk to the fucking doctor, not just the doctor's nurse or any intermediary person. But I got it through to her and I think she really did her homework and checked around and found somebody who's got experience at replacing a whole shoulder, not with a scope. And I told you about the breathing thing. That means that I'm a good candidate for surgery because they won't have any trouble keeping me alive. They took blood. They caught me right after woman said that's what they always do. Because I hadn't taken a leak all morning. I took one little tiny. I'm pretty well dehydrated, and she needed a urine sample, and I tried to tell her that the hypochondriac clinic over here. I told I told my doctor's nurse, my doctor, and also the lady in the lab about this clinic, that its purpose is to keep that emergency room from being overrun by overinsured wealthy people. They know I'm not lying. They know that this clinic over here really doesn't do any tests, doesn't really have any. They claim it has an x-ray machine, but have you ever seen an actual real x-ray machine? Like a portable one? They're tiny. It takes almost nothing. I'm sorry, I don't smoke. So if you've never seen a veterinarian who takes x-rays he'll actually put his arm right in there while he's I know some real vet. You know, that's how they were. Long story. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm warm. I'm clean. I'm scrubbed up. Really, for if things go well, if it doesn't get too wet, all I really have to do is occasionally take some of my wet one wipes, hit the crevices and stuff like that, and I could. It's possible I could do a month wearing these clothes without having to. Uh, although I think because somebody left me a little food offering, and I did a little slight variation. I'm gonna take a little Imodium today to make sure I stay, you know, good and mens sano and corpore sano, healthy mind and a healthy body. Anyway, just trying to let people who have some compassion for me and stuff. Cass, don't worry about it. It looks like things are going to work out. And thanks for caring about me. Because half the people around here, they just think I'm a lazy bum, and because it's not obvious that my arm is broken and fucked up. It's really not. But anyway, my doctor knows that they hold most of the imaging. There's other imaging, but the initial imaging when it's really bad was Scott and White over and over again. They did all kind of MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, you name it, and they're still going to do another round before surgery anyway because they need to see where that piece of bone is at and see, the current state. They've still got to do some, but at least it looks like it's going to happen finally. Only took, by the time I get in to even see this doctor, it will have been 1 year since the injury. So, to tell you the truth, a little bit of pain reliever. Well, let me check my knees. Yeah, I just, I have that. I got my second wind. Once I got here, I got out of the wind. I came back, I was unbagging shit and fixing up my area by the tree. But I decided to come up here to the Sunset side at 7-Eleven and have a cup of coffee. And it was delicious. And a cigarette. It's because I've only been able to smoke like a third or half a cigarette in all this bad weather. It gets me kind of tweaking a little bit if I can't, have a nice, calm cigarette and a cup of coffee. And you notice the tweaker? He's going over there. He came up and asked me if he could have a cigarette, and I told him, if you're watching, I don't smoke. Just straight like that. I've done that about 1,000,000 times in Austin. Sometimes they want to try to kill you. Yeah, you smoke, and I'll do just like this. I don't smoke, man. The fuck are you talking about? Look right at him and tell him, I don't smoke. Even better, I go like, I don't smoke. And variations of that, about 100 of them, thousands. Trust me, I am. At around 25 minutes, I'll finish up here. Those sweetheart, I'm about to give them a 5-star review although some of them are assholes. The guys that helped me, when I told them the night of the attempted murder, June 14th, 15th, where the idiot actually broke the bat on me, they had decided that if something happened, they were going to take me to Pflugerville to get me out of the combat zone. God bless you. God loves you. He took me into a place where they've only tried to kill me once here. And that was, that's going to happen in any population of 70,000. You're going to run into some psycho, meth head, drunk, overpaid, fucking. That's really all he does is just goof off, testing other people's code and software. And so they did me a great favor. It's by bringing me up here. Can you see the glaucoma? Can you see that refraction? in my lens. That show right there, see that? That tells me exactly how much a person's cup to disc ratio is. I'm not a stupid person. I want to thank all 312 and plus the 1,000 that I've been managed to run off. I want to thank the 312 or 14 people who subscribed to my channel. I'll try to get back to more interesting things. Things that means things that interest me and stuff, science, psychology. I still haven't, but I actually right now almost feel like in demonstrating the three and giving a, but that really may take 20 or 30 minutes to really cover all the judgment calls and stuff. I really want to give it a proper presentation. I've already given you some of the basic. As this ends, this is bonus round to remind you people, sometimes you need to watch to the end. Pill rolling. Love of the color purple. Look in their underwear drawer and in their closets. But see, there's exceptions. There was the year 1986 was the first year of the color purple, where 60% of all the garments in America were dyed purple or partially purple. People who wouldn't ordinarily buy purple, it ended up in the discount bins and they bought it. Stuff they wouldn't ordinarily wear, they wore. And then the snuffle. No, man. Stop saying that. Fuck you, man. No, I'm not gay. Yeah, I like the color purple, but I like purple, but I'm not doing it right. I did it. I have a link up to my Snuffler short from my Armadillo thing. It's no, man. I'm not gay, man. Keep calling me queer, man. Yeah, I like purple. What's wrong with that? That's it. But there's a lot of judgment calls here that I need to expound upon so that you don't, and in any kind of business or romantic relationship, those are the things you need to look out for the most is love of the color purple, pill rolling, snuffling. Those are the three most critical, observable traits that lets you know that trouble's there and just waiting to bite you in the ass. 28 minutes and I'm out. I have hope now of getting repaired.